Hi, welcome back to part 4, the final part of my 2-hour video of my first memories in Hamburg. So we're now leaving Maren's area where she lives. That's Tante Carla there. She goes, nah. She speaks what they call Platt Deutsch. Nah. It's called Platt Deutsch. If you watch the old Werner movies, the cartoons, that's kind of Platt Deutsch. So what we're doing now, we're in the van, with Rolf driving, I'm filming, and we're heading off into the city. And bear in mind, this is when I first went to Hamburg, so it's all new to me. Everything is new to me. And we're now driving our way to Hamburg, to the city centre. And it was all strange to me then. I was like a fish out of water. I mean that, literally. It was like I didn't have a clue where I was. I didn't go out on my own because I thought I'd never find my way back again. That there in front is the U-Bahn. That's where you get the train or the underground to the city centre. I started to use that a lot. And next door, I don't think it shows here, but there's like a bar. Not a pub, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but it's like a bar. You can go in there and have drinks and that. But they're not like English pubs. They don't have opening times and closing times. They open when they feel like it and close when they feel like it. And when I asked one of them, when do you close? They said, well, if there's nobody around, we close. That was their attitude. Yeah, it was like living in an alien world for me. They all spoke, because I didn't speak much German and I was trying to learn it as I went along. I ended up going to a school to learn German, basic German. And I just tried to get by as much as I could. And it was difficult because, as you can probably gather from me, I love to chin. When I go to the supermarket, I love to chat to people and that. But in Germany, I felt lost because I couldn't speak the language. But I picked up body language. So if they were looking down when they spoke to me in German, and they're going, I used to pick up the same sort of body language and go, yeah. But if they were smiling and talking, I go, yeah. So I first started off by learning body language to respond because I felt rude if they talked to me in German and I couldn't talk to them back. So here we go. So this is what I mean. Look, you look at these streets, the names of these places. I couldn't read them. There's the trouble with Germany. They don't speak English. But I was there till just over, I was there about 2001. Spiel Hall, that's a gambling place. Spiel is play. See, I learned the lingo a bit later. But I didn't learn it fluently. I learned what you might call Urlaub Deutsch. Urlaub means holiday. So I was like a tourist, and I picked up Urlaub Deutsch. Oh, that's me filming now. There you go. Hello. That was a broken mirror, that. It was always broken, that. Rolf never fixed that. No, I learned Urlaub Deutsch, holiday Deutsch. So if I went in a shop, I could say, Was kostet das? How much is that? Das ist teuer, that means expensive. Das ist billig, that means it's cheap. I learned pidgin German, you could say. Anyway, here we are now. I have filmed this before. I know I have. But this is the big cemetery, Ohlsdorf. I showed you, I think in part 1 or 2. So we're now driving through. But only this time, I want to see the Allied graves and the German graves. I have filmed this before. I remember making a video about this. So a lot of this I might be going over again, but it doesn't matter because I'm trying to get in my memories of my first time in Hamburg, and this is part of it. This is when I first went out there. So we're now arriving at the Commonwealth Cemetery, and most of those guys in there were Canadian. They were probably shot down during the bombing. So there were mostly Allied troops in there. And I like the way it was all done. Look how neat it is. I think the Graves Commission, the Commonwealth Graves Commission, do look after our boys who were lost in the Second World War and the First World War, which you'll see later. They're also going in there now to where you can sign the book, and I did. I wrote in the book, I put my name. I made comments. I put this music in the background because I thought it was very subtle for this video. Yeah, that sort of guys. The Second World War. Like I said, they're mostly Canadian. And pilots. Aircraft probably shot down flying over Germany. War was a horrible thing. I mean, Operation Gomorrah, we killed 42,000 people, but we lost people ourselves. What a horrible time. Why can't we stop this nonsense? I mean, life is short. Yet so many people all around the world just having a go at each other, wanting to kill each other. Why? Why can't you just enjoy this short life we have? We're now entering the First World War graves. Rolf thinks that they were wounded British, most of them are British here, First World War, and Rolf thinks that they were probably captured during the conflict and brought back to Germany, but died, so were buried here. And this is the German war grave. You saw this building earlier on. This is where the German soldiers are buried. And the graves are all marked 1944. Ralph thinks they were the war dead that came back from Russia, or the war wounded who came back from Russia and died. So they were buried there. So they're all marked 1944, the same date, like a mass grave. And further up, I didn't film it, is the mass grave of the 42,000 killed in the Hamburg firebombing. So now we left the cemetery now. In my other video, I filmed more of it. So we're driving back through the streets of Hamburg right now. I just want to repeat, and as I said in part 1 of this video, this was 1992, and all the people that I filmed in these 4 parts, family, Rolf's family and that I lost contact with when I left Hamburg in 2001 or something, and then Rolf died. But if any of you are watching, who are on this video of mine, please reply below and tell me that you're doing fine. Give us an update, because I thought you were all wonderful people, and I do miss you. And these videos that I've got now and I'm showing you all, they mean a lot to me. And I hope when you see them, they will mean a lot to you too. Right now, we're heading towards Hamburg City, the Stadt. It's getting interesting. So here we go. As I said, I might have included these clips in earlier video postings of mine, but I'm still going to include it in this 4-part memories of mine, because this was all the time. That's the bus station there, all the buses parked there, which is what bus station is for, isn't it? I know, give me a break. So we're heading into the main city of Hamburg right now, and like I said, this was all new to me back then. This is strange. I mean, where was Woolworths? I was reading all the things on the shops and thinking, what's that say? What's that say? Because I didn't have any knowledge of the German language. I was thrown in the deep. Oh, Kostadt. Now that was a good shop. That was a top shop, Kostadt. That was the posh shop of Hamburg. You could go in there and buy anything. In fact, we did buy a lot there. And they weren't that expensive. See, Hamburg was a wealthy place. A lot of wealthy people living here. They didn't have second-hand shops and stuff like that. In fact, if people didn't want anything, they just gave it away. They put it outside on the pavement, and a lorry used to come around once a month and pick it all up and take it to a recycle centre. And anybody who needed it could just go down to the recycle centre and grab it. It didn't have to pay for anything. In this country, we have tips where you go there and they got rubbish and you have to pay for it. But in Hamburg, they just give it away. So you don't get second-hand shops like you do in this country. Yeah, this is all, you know, can imagine what's this all about. And I'm thinking, why did I leave England? I don't know this place. And there's no pubs. They don't have pubs in Germany. They have drinking places. They're called Kneippers. But they're mostly little dive holes like they have in speakeasies in America. And you usually just find them full of old men, drunks, alcoholics. There's not a place to go. No entertainment. If you go to the main city, they do have clubs and that. but it's expensive. But they don't have pubs like we do in England. But then saying that, we're losing our pubs too. See, the Germans, they mostly drink at home. They don't go out like we did in England to a pub on a Friday night, Saturday night. They just buy, and they don't just buy a few cans, they buy crates and stack it up. But I think we're now losing pubs ourselves. I mean, they stopped smoking, and now they're on about not smoking outside a pub. I think they're driving people to be like Germans. Just buy a cheap beer at a supermarket, because like the beer's going up too. Anyway, we're now in the city. We're now in the city. We're in the main city of Hamburg. It's funny, I've just realised all the videos I've shown you of Germany, of Hamburg, I just keep whinging. That's a Hoppenhof, that's the main rail station. That was bombed during the war. Notice the trees, I've mentioned it before in another video, they're all young trees because Hamburg was bombed. So not in Bournemouth we got old trees, thousands of years old, but Hamburg was bombed so much, most of the trees there, look, they're just young trees. I was driving around Hamburg city. As I said, I was there till just over, I was there for the millennium, and then about 2001 I came back to England and Rolf followed me. But we later, I've got it on video, we found our own accommodation, I've shown that, and I got used to being in Hamburg or in Germany and speaking the language, like I said, Urlaub Deutsch. So I picked up in the end. But it was just an experience for me. I mean, it was a good experience, and I'm glad I had it, living in Hamburg and seeing all Rolf's relatives and people. It was a great 10 years experience of mine. I would say 10 years. I did flip back to England now and then, sometimes for as long as 3 months, but I kept coming back. But I wouldn't have wanted to stay there, even though they had better standards. Their living standards were much higher in England. But Bournemouth, where I live, England, it's my home. And I did get a lot of homesick while I was out there. And I remember when I used to come back on a ferry and meet all the brickies and the builders, the construction workers, Cockney workers, and I used to get in there and I used to love listening to them talk because I got so used to listening to Germans talking. Young people used to speak English, and when I went out shopping and I tried to learn German, I used to speak to someone in German and they immediately recognised I was English. So they would come back to me in English and like practice their English. So I never stood a chance, even when I tried to be German. I had a European driving licence when I went out there, but I couldn't imagine myself driving. This is where Dieter lives around here. That's a big shopping complex. It's amazing that. You walk all through there and there's all sorts of stores. It's a massive area. Now, going back, Yeah, I had the driving license. I could have drove out there, but I just didn't fancy it. It was mad. The Germans drove like crazy. They're all Nicky Lauda out there. And I was worried because I had to drive on the right. And I was alright going up the main road, but if I suddenly had to turn right or left, I thought I might switch over to the English side. So I didn't trust myself driving out there. So I didn't drive when I was in Hamburg. Well, when we moved out to the country at the end, there was one track. I used to drive down the country road and park the car in the shopping centre and then catch the U-Bahn to the main city and then come back and drive the car home. That's about the only driving I did. Because I just didn't trust myself. I thought, I'm bound to switch sides. Couldn't get used to it. I imagine Germans get the same. And I've heard because crossing the road, especially, we've had it in Bournemouth for foreign students, when they cross the road and they're so used to their own country, they look the wrong way when they cross. And a bloody car hits them. So that was a worry for me too out there. I had to train myself to look both ways before crossing. And I think I still do that now, because I picked up the habit of doing that. I think any foreigner watching this movie, do the same. If you come to England, when you cross the road, don't just look one way, because you might be looking the way your country drives. Look both ways. That's my tip for you. Look both ways. Yeah, I have shown this. I remember that scene. I've shown this video before, but it doesn't matter because I'm doing a narrative on it now. So it's part of my memories of when I first went to Hamburg. So it's a different movie. All of these early movies I made in Hamburg, I was borrowing Werner's video camera. And that's what really got me into it. And of course, later on, I bought my own video camera, which was analog. So did later recordings, videos with that, which I've put on YouTube. And then of course now I'm still into it. I bought a digital video camera. And now I've gone even crazier. I've gone mad. And I bought the GoPro 12. And I'm very happy with that. I wish I'd have had the GoPro when I was out in Hamburg. But they weren't around then. See, this is technology. When you get to my age, you look back, it's like TVs. You know, TVs today on the wall, 52 inch, no, more than that, 92 inch. But when I was a kid, it was 7 inch, black and white, 7 inch screen. And you only had one channel when I first started, then they come out with ITV. But now look at TV. God knows how many channels. But I tell you what, they're all blooming rubbish. My TV's hardly ever on. I spend most of my time with this. On YouTube, looking at other films, following advice, and making videos myself. So I'm not really into TV now. I find TV boring. Why am I going on about this? It's meant to be showing you Hamburg. Anyway, here we go. Now, Werner filmed this. Werner filmed this before I first arrived in Hamburg, and he's filming the Hauptbahnhof. I think I have shown this before, but I'm sure, again, as I said, because it's part of my memories when I first went out there, I'm showing it again. You can see the date. It's 92. That was long before I went out there that he filmed that. It's February, isn't it? 2nd, 10th of February 92. And I went out there 11th November 92. So Werner filmed this Now, you weren't supposed to film. They didn't like you filming in the Hoppenhof. So Werner went out there, you can see it, 7 minutes past 8. So he did a sneaky video of the Hoppenhof. Hoppenhof is the main railway station. So Werner did this sneaky video. See where it's got Phillips up there? During the war it had a big swastika, but it all got bombed out. And now they repair. Now these trains, ICE, they go all over. I never travelled on an ICE or ICE train, but they are the speed trains. You know, like they wanted to put them in England, HR2, whatever they call it, but they have them out there. I haven't shown you one here, but they do have them, and you can go fast track all the way through the continent to France. In fact, my brother Dave's daughter came to Hamburg to visit us, and she caught one, and it took her all the way to France, and they're luxury trains. And this Hoppenhof, they got shops in there and plenty of eating places. See, this is early, they're cleaning up. And Werner's sneaking around, filming. Good on you, Werner. As you can see, it's a shopping area as well as the railway station. I could even go down there and get me English newspapers if I wanted to. And this is outside the station. Opposite is the famous Atlantic Hotel. In fact, James Bond, one of his films, was it Pierce Brosnan? I can't remember. Filmed the Atlantic. In fact, he did a few stunts in Hamburg, down the docks. I can't remember the name of the film. I'm not really a James Bond fan anyway. But he came to Hamburg and it was part of the film, and he shot off quite a few sequences. Anyway, getting back, we're back in the station now. Just wondering if I can find an Icky train, but can't see one there. This is always a busy railway station, and it connects with the underground. So from wherever you come from, you get the underground and it brings you to the main Hoppenhof, main railway station in Hamburg. And then you just go through other channels and you can get other U-Bahn underground trains to Altona, another place I went. I didn't film, well, I did make a Christmas movie in Altona, but I liked Altona. It was a different place to Hamburg. It wasn't like city mentality. It was a bit quieter. But there were a lot of Turkish people living there. It was more Turkish orientated than it was German. Hamburg was definitely 100% German. I found it a bit faceless. You know, in Bournemouth, you know, you can walk along the street and you see somebody, you smile at them and say, good morning, good afternoon. But in Hamburg, Rolf told me off. He said, you're too open. You don't know what you're doing. I think it's city mentality. I don't think it belongs to Hamburg. I think you get that in London or Manchester. I think many cities are like that. I remember once Rolf took me to the Off Sea, the East Sea, north of Lubeck, and I found it more more like Bournemouth. So I think, I'm going to go at the Germans, but I think it's just city mentality. I couldn't get used to it. I was born in London, Islington, but I wouldn't want to live there. I like Bournemouth. And I would have liked to live in the Ostsee area. Anyway, back to the rear. This is the main area of Hamburg city itself, the centre. You can see fantastic buildings. You wouldn't imagine it was bombed heavily, would you? Because they didn't pull the buildings down like we did in England. They rebuilt them because it was firebombing, so the actual structure still stood, so they just rebuilt it from the inside, put it back to normal again. So when you walk around Hamburg, you wouldn't think that it had been severely bombed, because it's just still old buildings. And this is all nicely lit up Christmas, like I said before in the other part. They have white lights in the trees, and it's great at Christmas. This is all the main stores in the city. Like I said, when the people from England come over on the Hamburg ferry, this is where they come. They do all the Christmas shopping, and in the middle is where you get the Christmas market. I've got that on a video on YouTube where the Christmas market is here, and the Christmas trees and everything. And there are top shops here. But like I said in another bit, Brinkmann, Brinkmann's another top shop out there. And there's the clock tower at the Hopper. No, like I said, come Saturday 1 o'clock, all these shops close. So if you want to go out on the weekend to the city, all you can do is look in the actual shops, window shopping. In England, they'll open all blooming 7 days a week. God knows to what time sometimes. Now this area was a strange area. There was a lot of unsavoury women around here. This is a bit of a green light area. And you had some, it was funny because you didn't get them on the other side, but in this street there were some strange people. So you got the S-Bahn and the U-Bahn. The S is the speed, and the U is the normal underground. Same with the buses, the S buses. So there's a map of Hamburg. Anyway, this 2-hour sequel of mine, the whole lot together was over 2 hours, and I've broken it down to 4 parts to make it easier to watch. So I hope you've all enjoyed it, and my narrative too, trying to explain as much as I can to you. Yeah, up this road was an English cinema. Well, when I say English, they showed English, not in German. And that's where Rolf and I used to regularly go. I thought we saw Titanic there. Amistad, we saw that there. Mousetrap, I think we saw that there too. And a lot of the young kids used to go there. Probably because they were students and they were learning English, so they went to the English cinema. But that was the only cinema in Hamburg that you could actually watch a film in English. But it was hard to know what it was because the film titles in Germany, they change them. They have their own name for them. I don't understand that. like, you know, Mousetrap wasn't called Mousetrap, I forget what it's called now, but they give it another name in German. So it was hard to know what film was on. That's a playhouse place. We never went in there, but that's like a theatre of some kind, if you will see. Yeah, this was a bit of a funny area, this was. Like I said, it's a bit of a green light, because most of the green light is in St. Pauli, near the rape apartment. A couple of them used to hang around here. Drug addicts and prostitutes and all them sorts going on here. Anyway, this video now is now coming to an end, to the final part. As Werner, I keep saying Rolf, can't get him out of my head. As Werner now films the last part of this film. I'd like to say thanks for watching this video of mine. It's memories of mine from my first time in Hamburg. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed putting it up there, and as I said, anybody in the film that I knew and haven't lost contact with, if you're watching this and you see yourself, make a comment below. So I'd just love to hear from you. I'm not putting this up to just get stars and ticks and God knows what. I'm doing it because I love it. And I thought I'd make this private, but no. I'm making it for everybody. So I'll say goodbye now and let you watch the rest of it. Hamburg City. It goes to the radio station, Hamburg. And that's where the movie ends. So until my next video, which I'm sure I'm going to make a lot more, probably back to Bournemouth again. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.